You guys need to go ahead and do this inside of Fish before the next Valentine's update comes out. So if you guys didn't already know, the Valentine's update was recently teased/announced, which I'll go into in this video. And basically, I'm going to be showing you everything you need to do to prepare for this. So make sure you watch this video all to the end because this is some very important details and information regarding the Valentine's update. So I'm pretty excited. So yeah, let's go ahead and get around to this video. Oh, really quickly, I forgot to mention, I am doing an Omni Polaris rod giveaway. If you guys want to enter, all you guys have to do is leave a like on this video. This is going to be one of my last times doing it because it does take forever to get these items and it genuinely is kind of a nightmare for me to do. So if you want to enter or you've never entered, this is the best chance to go ahead and do so. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this video. All right, so the very first thing we need to take into account is the actual event page. Before I show you exactly each individual thing we need to go ahead and do to prepare. So as you guys can see, once I pull this up, we pull over the Fish update, you're gonna see that they've gone ahead and announced the Valentine's update right here. And this again is a limited event. This comes out, if you guys click on the actual event page, Saturday right here, Saturday, February 7th, and it's going to go all the way until the 21st right here. So a pretty lengthy event. Obviously, it's going to start way before Valentine's actually even begins. But yeah, and the description for this event is going to go ahead and be best suited for pairs, fishers, and then featuring an expansion of new content experience, a true Valentine's experience from our limited event. So obviously, very, very cool. And we're going to go ahead and get into and break down exactly what everything is going to be and how you need to prepare. So obviously, you just read that it said you're going to need to be in pairs, right? So it's a two-person event to complete. So number one, you need to make sure you have someone to complete this event with, whether that's your alt account where you actually have someone that you can complete it with, one of your friends, maybe your girlfriend if you actually have one that plays Fish, I don't know. But you need someone to complete it. So make sure you have someone that is pretty high level that can help you through this stuff because a lot of this stuff is probably going to be quest-based. Now, there's a couple things I want to say, but really quickly before I do, if we take a look on Discord in the last update log for the last update that they went ahead and had, you'll see at the very bottom, it says use code Valentines soon, which obviously is not super relevant to this, but actually it's what is under this. As you guys can see, it's going to say prepare for our Valentine's event on the 7th. It'll be much larger than last year's. So this right here is very, very important. If you played last year's event, you will know that obviously it was kind of small and it basically took place right here at spawn. There was a little area right here. I'm going to pull up the wiki and show you guys. It looks a little something like this. And there was also like an NPC at spawn. So it was the Valentine's event. This is what it used to look like. Obviously, this is not necessarily what this year's is going to look like, but keep in mind, that's kind of exactly what this looks like. It looks very, very similar. And you can see the exact same NPC kind of blurred right there, but it's the exact same one. So we're going to have obviously something very similar. Obviously, we had the suited for pairs. So obviously it's a pair event. So you need someone. And obviously this is going to be one of the biggest updates we've had for Valentine's ever inside of Fish. So that's the first thing to note. That's the first thing that we need to take in. Now, what can we do exactly to pair? Well, like I said, you need to get someone that can go ahead and actually complete this with you. But there's another couple of things that you should be doing to prepare. Number one, you should always make sure you have enough money. I say that in pretty much every preparation guide video, I guess. Always make sure you have enough money though. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Always just have enough money and be ready. The very next thing you need to do is have multiple rods prepped and ready for this. So this could be really any amount of rods, but you don't know specifically which ones you're going to need or ones that will help you. So you're going to want ones that are high control and stable. You're going to want one fast farming rod and you're going to want one backup rod, I guess that you could say. Obviously make sure you have that. Now, there's way better tips that I'm going to be going into in a second. So last year's event had a bunch of stuff in it. If you scroll down, you'll see we had a heart candy bobber and you needed 50 fish to do it. So basically you had to complete a quest. It was completely quest based and oriented. So you needed a certain amount of fish between the two people fishing in the pairs to actually go ahead and get it. So we had last year this Valentine's reward fish caught, and then you had all of this right here. So if you caught 50 fish, you would get this. If you got 100 fish, you would go ahead and get this. And then we have the roses, and then we had a bow at the very end. This was obviously a super minimal Valentine's update. Obviously, this one's going to be a lot bigger. There was 2 fish that you could catch from the bestiary. Right here, you can see we had the Love Storm Eel, and we had the Love Storm Eel Supercharged. And then you had these baits right here. Now, this is another thing I want to quickly go into. So these baits right here, the chocolate fish baits, these are actually very, very important because if you still have these baits from last year's, save them. Don't use them until the update comes around because again, like I said, you never ever know when you're going to need this bait. You could stockpile this and use it very, very efficiently, I guess. It's going to make it a lot easier. Now, the next thing I want to say is obviously last year we had the Love Storm Eels spawning in. So make sure obviously you can go ahead and get those without any problem. The Love Storm Eel was pretty easy to catch last year, but there's probably going to be a lot more this year. I mean, they said that in the Discord, literally said our Valentine's event will be a much larger event than last year's. I mean, so I think we're going to have a pretty big update this year. Now, the next thing to note is that these will probably be decent for your aquariums. So anything you can go ahead ahead and do, well, like if you can get any of these new fish, that's probably going to be very, very beneficial. But again, the reason why I said you need the high control slash stable rod is because of these potential love storm eels that you'll be catching, or whatever the new Valentine's thing is. Now, if we take a look, we just got a very early look at the new Valentine's Island. Keep an eye out over the next few days for more. So here's what we got with this. We obviously have the Valentine's event, which looks very, very similar to last year, but this looks like a separate island. Keep that in mind. This looks like a very separate island. The next leak we have is this like love storm. I think this looks like an eel, honestly, but it's not the exact, like it's not the same thing that we got last year. There we go. Much better. Same thing, by the way. And then I am so excited to be a duo king with Nick. So this is going to be kind of, again, like that pair thing we were talking about earlier. It's a whole duo system. So you'll have your duo down here in the corner next to your XP. It will be like a little box right about here. And that's going to be your duo. And again, that's why I said you need to make sure you have someone prepared. Now, knowing anything about last year and the current type of events we've been getting inside of Fish, there's a couple things to note. Number one, you're probably going to have to grind a bunch of quests. I feel like there's going to be NPCs on this island, kind of similar to the other updates. And you had to like go ahead and complete that. I feel like that's definitely something that's going to be in this Valentine's update, where you kind of have to run around and complete these quests. I mean, if you played the Thanksgiving or Halloween updates, you would easily know, I mean, that these had so many quests that you could go ahead and do. So yeah, that is something to take into account. Now, when it comes to leaks, there's not really too many more. I mean, this is pretty much it. This was January 17th, so this doesn't really have anything to do with that. Make your duo Valentine's update only feature appear above your head next to your catch streak. So that is a new feature that I guess is coming too. They did a little poll on that. So that is something that you will definitely get inside of this update as well. There's a lot coming to this update. So really quickly, I want to brief you on everything you need to do. Number one, make sure you have a pair, a duo, someone that is able-bodied and capable of helping you grind these events out. Because obviously, like I said, these events can be anything from the Valentine's rewards. It could honestly be any of these right here. It could be something very similar to this. Obviously, it's probably going to be some sort of quest, because we see in the leaks that there is this exact same guy right here. So there's definitely going to be a quest. And then there seems to be this little NPC poking out, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Make sure you go ahead and get a ton of money. Make sure you have a pair ready, and make sure you have a bunch of fishing rods ready for this event. And obviously, mentally just prepare for this event, because it's going to be a bit of grinding, I think. But I do hope and I do assume that there's going to be a lot of really cool items in this. They said it's going to be one of the biggest updates for Fish Valentine's. So hopefully it does not disappoint. So yeah, obviously everything I've gone over is very, very important, especially if you're wanting to actually get completely prepared for this update and not have to worry about any of those issues. So again, like I said, please make sure that you go ahead and get a pair. It's going to make this so much easier. Make sure you do enter in my Omniflex rod giveaway too, as well, if you guys want to. This is the last chance to go ahead and do that. So not trying to pressure anyone into doing it, but this is the last time I'm going to be doing the Omniflex rod giveaway. So make sure you enter if you're interested and you've been wanting to enter. I know a lot of people have been commenting that. So yeah, go ahead and make sure you enter in that. But I'll see you guys pretty much in the next video.